What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode here on the Whiskey Slick YouTube channel. Now, as promised in the thumbnail today, we will be introducing a new vehicle to the channel, and yes, it will be a small build, just a small one, mostly a project vehicle. I, for one, am very excited about to see the transformation of over the next few months, and I hope I can get you guys into it as well. Now, I know I stated in my first video, the one prior to this one, that the big girl over here, the 2016 Midnight Edition Betty, was going to be a large portion of future content. However, I lied. So I do believe that this vehicle still will be a large portion of future content. Obviously, it's one of my daily drivers, but it's just not something that we're going to be modifying or changing up. We'll be in and out of it recording, I'm sure, but as far as altering it, there's not a lot I want to do to this truck besides just a few small accessories and things like that. I spec this truck from the factory, and if you watch my first video, you'll really see why I love this truck so much. I don't really want to get into changing too much either, because you'll get into voiding the warranty, and I really want to have that as an option going forward if there was ever something to be wrong with it. You know, the dealership wouldn't hesitate at all to play that card, and I would totally miss out on that. I think I've got a warranty on this thing for still like 3 years or so, so I definitely want to have that in place if needed. So anyways, I made the decision to introduce the vehicle today because I did want to make this a project. It's something I've really been lacking to get around to. I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to upgrade this thing, and creating the YouTube channel really has got it in motion, got me in gear to want to do it. And the number one reason for this is because it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this thing change, and it's going to feel really good knowing that I'm going to be helping it to last a lot longer, because I really do love this vehicle. I love its styling and you know, the time period that it was from, and it's such a really good vehicle. It's got a great body, it's got a great frame, and it could hold up for so much longer. Number two is financially, it just makes sense to upgrade this vehicle. $1,000 or $2,000 into this car will drastically alter its image, and I think a lot of people would like to see that. I know I would. $1,000 on this thing over here, well, it's not going to go that far. Let me just show you how far $1,000 will go on this thing. So $1,000 on this truck will get you assist steps and the Christmas special window tint. And that's it, guys. That's really all $1,000 will get you. That's as far as it goes on that truck. So the number one reason for the introduction of this vehicle today is the relatability factor. A lot of people are going to be able to relate to owning an older vehicle, a used vehicle that they've maintained, they've taken care of, they've really cared about, and they really want to see last a lot longer. A lot of people are going to relate to wanting to modify and upgrade and restore their car, as opposed to, you know, going out and buying a brand new vehicle and saying, man, I just love this payment, which I do. I finance that. I make a payment on it every month. But you know, that's not something that I'm fascinated with either, is dropping another $10,000 into my vehicle that I already bought brand new, the way that I really liked and really cared about. So without running on anymore, let's go ahead and introduce the new vehicle to the channel. Alright guys, so here she is. This is the brand new project truck to the channel, the small build if you will. This is a 1994 Chevrolet Silverado C2500 HD. Of course, you can see her sitting high in the back with the HD shocks and springs. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with a quick overview of this thing, just the introduction of it today. We're going to go over the flaws, we're going to go over all the things that definitely need attention and repaired before we can actually start putting some cosmetic money into this thing. We're going to go over the outside, then the inside. I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I've already done to it, basically just powertrain upgrades and things like that. But let's go ahead and start this overview. Alright, so starting off with the outside, things that definitely need attention and repaired. First off, we're going to start off with the rust. As you can see here, I don't know if the camera's picking it up very well or not, but I've had this truck for about 3 years, and when I first got it, these fender wells here were in pretty bad shape. We repaired them, we put some Bondo, grinded out as much as we could, and I would go with not even an amateur coat of paint on that. I'm not a painter, but I gave it my best shot. Looked good for a while, but as you can see, it's coming back through, and I'm sick of it. We're not going to do any type of repair like that again. You can get a brand new set of fenders for these things for about $160 or so. So we're going to go ahead, completely replace the fenders there. Now the doors, they're in really good shape, except for this one. We actually got a brand new door for the other side, but this one, we again just did some patchwork here. They had the big old school tow mirrors on these things, which you have to drill and punch holes through your door just to mount them. Again, shitty coat of paint. I'm not a, you know, auto body guy, but gave it my best shot and kept costs low. But again, starting to come through here, so we're gonna go ahead and do this professionally this time. We're gonna cut this stuff out, make sure it doesn't come back. Now down below, the rocker panels are in pretty bad shape, but again, that is a very cheap part to pick up. You can get a set of those for around about the same as the fenders almost. I think it's under $150 or so. Both sides are about, you know, in similar condition. You can see the rust is just awful there, but that's as bad as it gets as far as this truck goes, guys. So, you know, I think that's actually a pretty good thing. Again, I said the body's in great shape, the frame is in great shape, so we're gonna go ahead and completely replace those and make sure that this stuff doesn't come back. Already replaced both cab corners as well. They are holding up very well, still very solid, as you guys can see there. We actually did that right, cut those out and welded in some new pieces. So the rear fender wells are actually in great shape, guys, very solid. We didn't have to do any repairs to those. This bed is in really good shape aside from a few dents and scrapes there, but we will repair those in the future as well. The frame and leaf springs look fantastic. You've got some surface rust, corrosion on them, but I think if we take this thing down to the car wash, pressure wash it off real well, get all these loose particles off, we will throw another fresh coat of underbody spray on here, some really thick rubberized corrosion resistant paint, see if that holds up and helps it out for the future. The bed is in great shape aside from a few dents and scratches, of course, but that's what to be expected. Again, this was my work truck. You know, Betty, the big girl, I bought not to do anything with. So this thing has been doing the bulk of the work around the house. As you can see, I've got some landscape leftovers over there. Probably end up having to toss those here soon. Still got the stock wheels on this thing, just some classic 8-lug steel wheels. I actually do think, guys, I can tell you right now that maybe very soon that might be the first upgrade that we make, change the wheels out. What do you think? We can go with a few options. I know that I've got one already kind of in mind, but leave some comments down below. Maybe let me know what you guys think about changing these wheels out. And also, I will be selling these wheels if anybody needs a good set of the classic steel wheels. Now moving on to under the hood, guys, we have the old reliable 5.7 liter 350 V8. Everything looks fantastic under here. I do believe this is stock engine and transmission. Again, I bought this thing 3 years ago and everything appears to be pretty much factory original aside from a few things that I have done to it myself. Looks like the valve covers are in still pretty good condition. Again, there's not a lot of corrosion in here. Looks fantastic. Do want to clean up this air filter container or casing. We'll get a new fresh coat of paint on that, make it look sharp. But man, I love these older trucks. Look at this engine compartment, very simple, very open. You can pretty much sit in here and make any repairs you need to. Now guys, I did mention that I had to do a few things to this truck when I purchased it, just some powertrain upgrades, just some standard things that, you know, are gonna get wear and tear and break over time. But we put a new starter on it, we put new spark plugs, a new distributor, new brakes, new pitman arm, new idle arm to sharpen up the steering, and I do believe that that's all. But it's really all this truck needed, and again, those are things that are just going to break over time anyways, and you're going to have to go and replace. So she starts right up now, fires up fine, drives just fine, and I mean, I think she'll go for a lot longer. That's why we're going to try and make it look a lot better. Now moving on to the inside, guys, first thing you'll notice is we've got custom bucket seats that are not stock from the factory. These are factory original seats for this truck model year. However, it came with a bench seat that was just torn to hell, ripped up and stained, so we had to take that out of there. I scoured the internet for a couple of days, couldn't find anything under $500 that would have looked good in this truck. You know, they were really expensive if you were looking for something that was compatible with this vehicle, and I just really didn't think it was worth it. So I went to Pick Apart in Central Indiana, found some seats. I actually stumbled upon a 1994 1500 extended cab, and man, I was excited as hell when I saw these bucket seats. You know how I feel about bucket seats if you watch my first video. Even had to take the console out of it because you got to have the center console. So anyways, we got the custom bucket seats, and I think it looks awesome, and it just so happens that they're color matched perfectly. Now the carpet in this thing was shit also, so we ripped it out, put some new carpet down, and that obviously looks a lot better than the shit that was in here before. Took the radio as well. The radio that was in this truck had some buttons missing and cracked, so we took the radio out of that 1500 we found at the Pick Apart location, got a new radio in this thing. It works great. The speakers actually still work too, and I believe those are stock as well. 253,000 miles on this thing, and she still runs great, barely broken in. Hopefully don't have any issues with engine or transmission anytime soon, but all these gauges do work perfectly. We got power windows and power door locks. Hell, there's a lot of vehicles newer than this that don't even have that still. And everything does work. One thing I missed, guys, when I was talking about the rust here with the holes punched in the door for the old school tow mirrors, when I was fixing that and I took those off, we went ahead and ordered some newer style mirrors for this thing. They've been on for a while, so they're a little bit faded. Probably have to touch those up if we start making this thing look too nice, because this faded look's just not gonna cut it. But yeah, we upgraded the mirrors. Those look a lot better. Another flaw is a cracked windshield. It's down low and it hasn't been too much of a problem, but if we're gonna start making changes to this thing, that might be something that we have to address. Get a new windshield. I think Safelite repairs these things pretty cheap, so we'll probably go with them. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for the overview today of the new project truck for the channel. I'm very excited about what the future holds for this thing, and I hope I can get you guys into it as well. All right, guys, so if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. As always, let's get some early support so we can help grow this channel, and I will see you next time.